The gurus are trying to push Novations hard. And I want to say a couple things, and I'm going to let you take the floor because you know it better than me. Why are gurus pushing Novations? Let's think about this from a very big perspective. Why are they pushing it? There's only one reason why they're pushing it, because they think that's how you're actually going to make the most money. No, you already bought their $10,000 course, and they're like, shoot, you already bought my $10,000 course. I can't sell him another $10,000 course. I'll make a mastermind. Okay, he paid 10 grand for the mastermind. You know what? He already paid for my mastermind. He has lifetime access to that one. He has lifetime access to my course. Well, lifetime till I quit in 5 years. But how am I going to sell him anything more? He bought my wholesaling course. Wait, let's try to do wholesaling with extra steps. Give it a sexy name, and then I'll sell him a course on that. Guys, gurus are pushing Novations because they can sell you on top of the regular course or get an affiliate for a course and basically sell you on a course to do it. That's why they're pushing it. They actually don't believe it's the best for you, but they can make money off of you. So,
dude, it's good for sales.
Yeah. What's a Novation? It
sounds sexy.
Break it
Guys,
down.
Listen, Novations have been around forever. This is nothing new. A novation legally means to substitute one contract with another. That's it. There is no novation contract. You understand that? So here's the real problem with Novations, okay? I'm all about like making a buck in America and doing whatever you can. But try this. If you guys are going to sit in on a Novation course, and actually, if you want to waste an hour of your time, go ahead and do it. But take that idea, all the paperwork, the slides and everything, and bring it to a real estate lawyer and tell them what you want to do, and sit back and see how they respond to you. Okay? In my opinion, Novations, you're actually going closer to become a realtor than anything else in ACT. So I promise you, this Novation is even going to push legislation even more against acts like this. A Novation happens naturally. Let me explain to you. When I flipped a lot of short sales, sometimes we couldn't get the bank to give a discount. I couldn't buy it at that rate, but on the open market, it might sell for that. And I would go back to the owner and go, listen, I tell you what, I can't buy it for that. But I tell you what, my friend's a realtor. They can help find a buyer for it. Honestly, I might get a little bit of a feedback from it. If you're okay with it, we'll have them list the property. And when we get a buyer, I'll cancel my contract. And then I'll try to collect the fee from the buyer. I'm going to charge a little bit more. Are you okay with that? And some would be like, yeah. But to be honest with you, a Novation requires you to partner up with a distressed homeowner. Do you know how tough that is to do? And here's the problem is you have to enter into a power of attorney, legal document. You have to record a lien on public record. Once again, a legal document. I just don't feel Novations does not circumvent wholesaling. It's being sold as it's so much easier and you have no risk. Dude, you have a tremendous risk of being sued by the homeowner if you don't meet their expectations, because in my opinion, you are practicing real estate without a license and you definitely don't have skin in the game. And if you talk about doing repairs and all this stuff, guys, like honestly, there's a reason it's a really bad idea. Every now and then you come up with a solution. You got to pull your contract out and replace it with it. And I'm fine with it. Now we have entire courses teaching you how to do this strategy over wholesaling. And in my opinion, it's reckless. You don't have to agree with me, but partnering up with a distressed homeowner, and then you're going to record like this big, like giant lien on the property, and you're going to do a power of attorney. Go find the downside of Novations. I'm telling you, a lot of these homeowners, they're completely off the rocker and what the number needs, and to partner up with a distressed home owner to sell it for an unrealistic price is a recipe for disaster. They will drive you nuts. Guys, I'm just telling you, you cannot have Novations as your primary strategy. You're practicing real estate without a license. So you're going to do a power of attorney, and you're going to record a lien, and you're going to tell the seller and make all these promises and then involve another buyer. Let me ask you, say you have the contract under $400,000 and say you're able to bring another buyer, replace it for $500,000. Do you not think some of those sellers might have an issue with you making $100,000, which you didn't buy the property? Do you think assignments are bad? Guys, listen, I'm just telling you, Novations is not a beginner's strategy. It requires legal work. You have to understand how power of attorney works. Is it a limited power of attorney? Is it a full power of attorney? What type of lien do you record? Do you know when you record stuff on public record, you are liable if it's inaccurate, and you can be held accountable and be countersued? Guys, I'm just saying, Novation is simply a replacement of contract, and now we've created an entire course and marketing off of it. Go talk to the guys who have done this a long time. The only reason they're pushing Novations is because they think they can circumvent wholesaling. And honestly, you might as well go get your real estate license and just list the properties correctly if you're going to do that. I just don't, if you're brand new to this, if you think doing Novations or I'll just do creative financing because wholesaling's so hard, you are not taking you're taking a shortcut that's going to blow up on you in the long run. Everybody starts with wholesaling. Fine, you can buy properties, you can pay more on MLS on that. And then if you want to branch out, you learn more, you learn how all this works, creative financing. But like Novation, honestly, if you've never done a deal before, Zach, now I got to learn how to do a power of attorney. I got to record a lien, and I got to tell the homeowner. It's absolutely nuts.
No. First of all, we don't do Novations, and we're advanced. Can I tell you right? What do you think's going to happen when I'm 80 years old lady living at home, and you do a Novation on my house? Ready? Okay. Or I'm like 50, right? So you buy my house for 100. You do all these renovations. You make me sign this, and I agree to buy it for 100. It's a beat up house, whatever, right? You put 70K into it, and you sell it for 300 or 250, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to sign. You're selling this for 300? My house is worth 300.
Yeah.
You're making 80,000. Let me go call my my lawyer's son.
Or they're going to call a real estate agent and a broker. And guys,
worse is the lawyer's son.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You know, if you get sued for fraud and deceptive, because legally you bought their house for 100 and you didn't buy it. You agreed to buy it for 100 and you sold it for 300 and you didn't really disclose. You didn't buy the house.
Yeah.
And here's the funniest part. When you assign something, it's final. When they close it, they get the money they agreed on.
Yeah.
It's final. Like, hey, I sold. People get this. And this isn't like you're not really lying to yourself. They get it, right? It's over. I closed on it. I'm not the owner. The deed is put away. It's fine. Once you start getting into, I agree to sell it, the property at 100,000, but the property changed and now it's worth more. But I'm still the owner. I should be able to get out of this and sell it for 300, right? And here's the one thing about contracts, which I think a lot of gurus don't understand. This is the funniest thing ever. Contracts are a weird thing because a lawyer at any discretion can vacate a contract whenever they want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can really change a lot of things. And that's for the best, because if somebody goes to one of our properties and fraudulently does a quitclaim deed and tries to steal a house from us,
mm-hmm.
legally they're the owner if you really look at it on the property appraiser. But a judge, if I have a lawyer, they can reinstate it with me and say, hey, that's not legal. We're back. That's a court order. When I buy a property and then sell it and I have all my disclosures, a judge is like, hey, you agree to sell it for this price and like it wasn't fraudulent. You upfront, they're okay with that. When you do a novation, no one ever talks about this too. This is the funniest part. Are you ready? What if I am doing this, I'm buying the house from the lady for 100K and I have a bad roofer and the whole property gets destroyed?
I heard people doing novations. They're bringing in contractors doing the work while the other owner owns it. Guys, it's like 101. You don't do heavy rehab on a property you don't own. And let me ask you, what about this? Say you went out and got your real estate license to protect yourself because you want to be like a fraudulent wholesaler. Dude, the minute that seller has a complaint with you, not only do you have to do with state regulators, you're going to have to do with the National Association of Realtors and your board. Try to explain what you did with the novation. And here's the thing is, the explanation to the homeowner is a very advanced explanation. And most of them, they go, oh, here's the big selling point novations. You can get 50 grand more. But the challenge is there's a lot of risk, a lot of stuff that goes with it. What if you don't sell the property on time? What if you're a licensed real estate agent? So many things can happen. And then here's what they're doing. Well, so when they have an issue, guess what? Well, you signed a power of attorney. Well, I promise you, if they're like 62 or older, you're going to get taken to the house on the elderly law.
It's so
You're going to
funny.
get killed. Oh, and then you have a lien. I guarantee 98% of the lawyers can discredit that lien because you don't know what you're doing and you use some kit from a coaching thing. I'm just telling you guys, novations happen naturally.
And can I explain
And if
this?
it happens naturally in your business and you have some
Yeah.
experience, then do the right thing for the homeowner. It's like, listen, I can't buy it for this, but I can bring somebody in. I'm going to make a fee on it. If you'll sign off and let them know up front, worst case scenario, the realtor just gets a commission. You get a marketing bonus, move on your life. If that homeowner sues with all that paperwork, power of attorney, lien, all that stuff, and all your conversations, you're a dead man or
You could
woman
lose
walking.
everything.
You're going to lose everything. And I'm just
You're
telling
not
you,
going to, but you could.
I know I've done novations, but they've happened naturally. Novation, this is what it is. It's not a contract. There's no such thing as a novation contract. Go ask any lawyer. I talk to lawyers all the time. Novation is a replacement of one contract with another. It's not, I guess you can call it a strategy, but when you lead with novations, in my opinion, you are transacting on real estate without a license. And if that's going to be your I saw somebody post the other day, a good sized wholesaler in my state says more than half his business comes from novations. You are now in the real estate brokerage business. Go get your license and get everybody approved. And honestly, once you get approved, that formula will not work for a licensed broker because you're not out for the fiduciary responsibility for the homeowner. You're in it for yourself.
It's
very
bad.
similar to a wholesaler. Guys, I'm just telling you, man.
It's guys, I'm just like, once the seller changes their mind, and
you see how much they change. Guys, put in the comments, how many times do they change their mind just when you're doing a wholesale deal?
And this is the last part. And this is the part that scares me. If you look at the people that get arrested for elder abuse, financial abuse, like criminal crimes, what are most of them are for people over 65? A caretaker who's not related to the person gets a power of attorney, the bank account, does something crazy with it,
records a lien,
does crazy stuff, and then they get arrested. Not sued, arrested.
Yeah.
So why do you think I steer clear? Most financial crimes happen when you do a power of attorney, because that could guarantee you access to everything. And a power of attorney, this is the best part ever. Are you ready for a power of attorney? You're supposed to be in that person's best financial interest.
Yeah. So you taking 50 or 100 grand
of that deal
completely negates that. Guys, let me end it with this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Whenever you hear the word novation, you hear like hype about it and stuff like that, peel the layers back and figure out if they're selling you something in a course. And I guarantee 99% of them are. And the people that don't, they never talk about novations because they know it's like, it's in every now, dude, novations are like less than 5% of anything I've ever done, probably around 2 to 3%. And they happen naturally just because I wanted to help a seller and it was the right thing to do. When you go in with that strategy up front, come on, guys. Like, see, and honestly, somebody should do at least 50 to 100 deals before you try this crazy marketing strategy. All the hype around novation, when you peel it back, they're trying to sell you something they haven't had in their portfolio. And now, oh, I got this sexy. And everybody, oh, it's so much easier. Dude, have you ever done something you go, man, that was easy. And then you find out years later, like it was the worst idea you ever did.
Well, think about this. So if a seller wants to back out and sue you, you're screwed.
So they're coming after you personally.
So you love pizza, right? Huh. I know your favorite pizza place. We're not going to break it on here, but like, let's say you have a pizza place, right?
I love pizza.
But if you know this pizza place, it's the best pizza in the world, right?
Yeah.
So there's a 1% chance you eat that pizza, you get food poisoning for 2 weeks straight. But it's only 1 out of 100 chance. Would you eat that pizza? Would you order that pizza or just go to another place where you know it's really safe?
I go to another place.
Even if it's really sexy, you're not taking that 1% chance that you're going to get food poisoning. And what's that food poisoning? You get sued because you sign a power of attorney. You get sued. You get countersued. They go after your personal assets, your family. You can't wholesale anymore. You lose. What? You would not take that, listen, right?
When a seller wants to back out of a novation, now you've got a paper trail. Like a lot.
Don't eat the pizza.
And then so many people like, well, you signed a power of attorney. Dude, I'm here to tell you, dude, I've seen power of attorneys like challenge. And by the way, a power of attorney at a title company, they don't like them. Like you really got to prove it up and down, head to toe. So if you don't have a relationship and you enter in a power of attorney, the underwriters at the, not only the title company, but the insurance company, Old Republic, they're going to underwrite your power of attorney and they're going to question it because you don't have experience doing this stuff. Honestly, I don't ever enter into a power of attorney without the consent of a lawyer.
Are you ready for this? Here's the last definition. I'm going to say this. This is the state of Florida. What is a breach of fiduciary duty? Under Florida law, a fiduciary, such as a trustee or individual power of attorney, is required to impartially, what does impartially mean? You're not going to profit off of it, right?
It means you have to be completely
Right?
neutral.
Impartially based on what is fair and reasonable to all. You're not impartial when you're buying the deal yourself, okay?
And you're making $100K. It's like now in wholesaling, as long as you're ethical and upfront, you can take that money and you can keep it legal. Unless you committed fraud or did a forgery or really hid something, that's your money fair and square. A novation, novations can come back to you, I think 7 to 10 years after the fact too.
No, it's what is
I don't know.
Statute of limitations for a breach of the power of attorney. And what are you going to do? This is the last part. If you have kids and they're 20 years old and let's say you're 60, 65, and you're my power of, like, the son and daughter's power of attorney. They're my family. They love me. They trust me, right? You know, John right here, he just cold called me. He's going to be on this too. And I got like this, like a fortune or whatever. No, we're not going to have this random guy son of power of attorney, right? It's like, come on,
guys. I'm here to tell you the title company and especially the underwriting insurance company like Old Republic and all of them, they're going to open your power of attorney up and they're going to call the person that signed it. They want to know if there's a lawyer. They want to see all the IDs. They want to talk to the notary. Title companies, they're very wary of power of attorneys. And don't tell me you're going to handpick your title company to get through it. I'm telling you, we have consenting people with power of attorneys and we have to go through so much paperwork to do it.
I had a deal almost blow up because it was a old man who was selling his house and he was like, I think 70. So, I went with the entire family because I was making a ton of money on it. And it was the guy didn't have any kids, but his adoptive daughter, her adoptive daughter was the power of attorney.
Yeah.
The title company was like, wait, they're not legally related. And this was a whole good investing. Yeah. They pushed us so hard. I'm like, it's the lead. She's been adopted since like 3 years old. And like it was insane the amount of work on that. What do you think it's going to be when somebody they just met a week ago? I'm just telling
guys, listen, you can do novations. There's people making money in it, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have problems. Yeah. And in my opinion, you're going to have a lot of problems. So and then if you guys watch one of these webinars or trainings, they will never discuss this stuff because the people that decided to go, listen, that's not the niche of my business. And I don't want to go there. Guys, listen, I've been sued and I'm just telling you, a novation, if you have a chance to talk to a judge or a lawyer that's actually gone to court, dude, I've showed them the novation stuff. They're just like, you've got to be kidding. Every novation conversation that you hear of results from somebody selling a course on it. I'm telling you.
What did I just pop up? Read that. It's always a course.
It's always a course. But like, listen, this is, unfortunately, it's one of the worst ideas to see it. And they're going to say, oh, Rick, you're just jealous because you're not making money doing it. I go, dude, talk to me in 5-10 years and tell me after you clear all the lawsuits how much money you made. Okay? I've done things that, like, if you don't understand it like head to toe and you haven't reviewed with a lawyer, don't do it because you can't, what's the word? You not understanding what you're doing is not a valid excuse when you get sued.
So
you have a responsibility, being naive, whatever. There's a clever word for it.
Let me say this, and I'm going to mute it. I'm going to tell you an example of somebody, and you're going to break it down. There was once don't say it, and it's not in Florida. It's outside of Florida.
I'll try.
I have a lot of examples in my head of a wholesaler, real estate investor wholesaler. Okay.
Yeah.
A real estate investor wholesaler that did something that was technically okay, but he did it wrong to a point and he lost everything and he couldn't wholesale anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
So
do.
there's more than one, but the reason why we're so cautious with you is because some wholesalers do the wrong thing.
It wiped out millions.
They wipe off millions.
Wiped out millions.
So
And
when I say
actually,
about, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got a short stint too.
Jonathan, not who I'm talking about, but what I can tell you is there's wholesalers that go to jail, they do the wrong thing
because they push.
But a guru tells them it's the right
Yeah.
thing and they go to jail. They go to, it's guys, we say this from the bottom of our hearts. Do what's legal and right. Like I don't want anyone going to jail for wholesaling. So avoid the novations. Okay. When you get in trouble or sued for a novation, your guru you spent $5,000 is not going to help you out.
So, but just
you
because you can legally do them in paperwork, the problem is if you ever get challenged in court, you are 100%. You're not going to win.
And a lawsuit costs money. Even if you get sued and you're in the right, it's going to cost you
$15, $20